Hello, beautiful people from the internet. It is Connie over here. It's also the first time I'm talking today because I have been so antisocial, man. I have not been talking. I don't know why, but that is kind of irrelevant. Today I am here in my my mom's beautiful garden. And speaking of my mother, I am going to be doing a video on a topic that I find super interesting, which is what do my parents think of my YouTube channel? Because I have a YouTube channel about smoking cigarettes, because I could already do that of a normal YouTube channel, but because I have a YouTube channel about such a topic, I was like, you know what if I do a YouTube video on what my parents think about this channel? I think that would be very interesting. So I need to find my matches, my cigarettes, and I have my Red Bull. Alrighty, I'm gonna be smoking some Ventil Portuguese cigarettes. Not really up there on my rating for me, but just look at the size of them. It's kind of really ridiculous. Maybe I'll smoke two, I don't know. But you know what? Let's light this up. Let me just make sure it's all lit. Alrighty, good enough. So this is, I don't know, I feel like this is such an interesting topic and I don't know why I have never talked about it, but I'm gonna speak about my mother and my father separately and how they found out and what they thought of the channel when they found out. So, okay, this is gonna be like a really cool story. So, I've had my channel since December 2021. So it's been a year and a half. And until the summer of 2022, around May of 2022, neither of my parents knew. I didn't tell any of them. Whatever, let me continue with the story. So the first to find out was my father, because I put a milestone. I put like on Instagram being like, yo, 5K on YouTube, that's very cool. And I had blocked my parents on my stories because I didn't want them to find out about the channel, because I was like, what are they gonna think about me, whatever, right? But I forgot to block my cousins because I was like, yeah, whatever. It was not that deep. Like if they found out, they found out. I'm not gonna hide it forever, you know? So one of my cousins on my dad's side told my aunt on my dad's side, who then told my father. Now, my dad didn't tell me anything when he found out. My dog is sneezing. We went to have lunch some days after that. And we are on lunch. He looks at me and he's like, so what is this channel? Like, what are these videos that you do? Why do you do them? Like, do you smoke? He didn't know. He didn't know I smoked, you know? He didn't know anything because, I don't know, I was a very secretive child, I think. I was always very afraid to tell things to my parents that I think would disappoint them or make them sad in the least amount of sadness possible. So I didn't tell them anything, or my mom, nor that I smoked or that I had a channel or anything. Because I started smoking basically at the same time that I created my channel. It was like a few months after I started smoking, I created my channel. So he was like, why do you do these videos? Like, do you smoke? Don't you know that's dangerous? Haven't you seen from me? Because my dad used to be a packed cigarette smoker and he quit for rolly cigarettes, and he has a really strong aversion to packed cigarettes because he really believes they are that much worse, which is true. They have a ton more chemicals and they are way more addictive from what he says, and I also believe in that. So he gave me a little bit of a hard time, which I thank him for. He's my dad and he should want to protect me at all costs and protect me from smoking, of course. But we had already had a talk about smoking, and I was always that child that always said I'm not going to smoke, and then suddenly I start smoking. So he was like, what is going on? Like, what is this all about? This is not really you. Then I told him, you know, this is the way that I found to have my creative outlet. I am smoking anyway. I only smoke 1 cigarette a day. I don't think he believed me at first, but then he was always like, oh, do you want to smoke my rolly cigarette? And I always said no, because usually I already had my cigarette of the day, and I am very strict about only smoking 1. I only smoke 2 on rare occasions, like a couple times a month, you know. So he started to believe that after. But I really had a conversation with him being like, this is my creative outlet. I have built a community which at the time was 5,000 people, which for me was incredible. I didn't even think I could form a community of 100 people, let alone 5,000. And he started to realize how passionate I was about learning to edit, learning how to filmmake and storytell and talk to people, respond to comments and, I don't know, to messages. And he eventually started to accept it very well. And he was just like, you know, this is something that you really love. I can see the love you have for this. So, alrighty, if you really like to do this, if you're committing to this full force, if this is really what you want to do, then I'm going to support you. And now he's always like, oh my God, 10K, 20K, 30K. He's always celebrating my milestones with me. So I think that's a very sweet thing, you know. It took a little bit of conversation and of telling him this is something I really like, because up until that point, I have always gave up on everything. So I played tennis for 5 years, I gave up. I did rhythmic gymnastics for 5 years, I gave up. I went to school, got perfect grades on my high school, went to college, dropped out, went to college again, dropped out again. So I never really know what I wanted to do, and I was always giving up on everything. But I never gave up on YouTube. Like from the beginning until now, I have been working on it like every day of my life. Stupid amount of hours a day, every day. So he saw that and he understood that I really loved it. So he accepted it and he supports it now. Now, with my mom, I was very, 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 very scared to tell her, because I really did think I was going to disappoint her. She didn't know I smoked, and I've tried to have a YouTube channel when I was younger, and she didn't really like it because I was exposing myself, because I was underage, which I understand. I was like 12 years old trying to have a YouTube channel, and she didn't really think that was a good idea. So I thought that if I created a YouTube channel later in life, she wouldn't enjoy it either. So it took me a long time to tell my mom. So I created my channel November of 2021, and I only told my mom like October 2022, so almost a year later. And I told her because we were talking about finances, and she was like, how are you controlling your finances? Like, how much money are you making? And then I was like, you know what? I have a YouTube channel. And she was like, what? And then she started watching my videos with my aunt, and she was very supportive of it, which I was super, I was very surprised. I was not expecting that to happen. You know what? I'm gonna smoke another cigarette today. Today is a special occasion. I'm telling a story, so let's go, let's light this up. So she was very, very supportive of it. And my aunts on my mom's side were also very supportive of it. Most of them were just like, they don't really care. Like, they are not supportive of the fact that I smoke cigarettes, but they are very happy to see me pursue something that I really love, you know, which is just the whole YouTube thing, like editing, filmmaking, storytelling, responding to comments, having a community. So it's something that I've always wanted to do, you know. And I tried to have a Discord server before I had a YouTube channel. So I had a little bit of a community there, but I didn't tell anyone that I had a YouTube channel about smoking, because it was all about gaming and not really about smoking. So I ended up deleting that Discord server later on. But my aunts now, when they see me, they're like, oh my God, Connie Ramos, and they like act as if I'm a celebrity, just to like kind of not make fun of me, but like play with me a little bit, because Connie is not my real name. It's just the name that I use for English speaking people purposes, because no one can say my real name. My real name is Constança, which is a Portuguese name. It's kind of hard to say, so I created Connie, which is, I think, like a very cool short form of Constança. So like they come to me and they're like, oh my God, Connie Ramos is in the house. I'm inside Connie Ramos' car. Like they do a lot of like goofy thing around it. But like in a very loving, nice, supportive way, you know? And what my mom thinks is basically, you know, having a channel about cigarettes. Sure, she didn't even realize there was a community for that. And I told her, you know, why I created the channel was because I, a lot of the times, felt alone while smoking, because I was smoking alone, you know, and I wanted someone to smoke with. So I created my channel. So first of all, I could be talking about a topic while I was smoking. And also, people from the outside could smoke their cigarette and watch me and like be in my company while they were smoking, instead of being alone, because I had felt alone while smoking. So I wanted no one else to feel that. So I created my channel so that people could smoke with me, basically. And she thought that was really cute, you know. They really enjoy the fact that I have a channel because I'm pursuing something that I love. They don't enjoy the fact that I smoke. Of course, they would like me not to smoke, but they understand that this was just the way it worked out. This is the type of channel I wanted to have. Doesn't mean that one day I cannot create another channel that has another subject, or I can involve my content where it's like still smoking, but a little bit different. I don't really know what I want to do, honestly. But she's like very happy about it, always like checking on my YouTube to see if I have like more subscribers every day. She's like, oh my God, today you gained like 100 subscribers. And I don't even know about that, because I stopped looking at the numbers like a little while ago, because it was like messing with my head, always looking at the analytics. But she's always like, wow, you gained 100 subscribers today, and one supporter on Buy Me a Coffee, because I have a page called Buy Me a Coffee where I post like extra content, like photos and extra videos. So she's very into it. This is a world that she has never been a part of, because, you know, like YouTube is kind of recent. Having any sort of YouTube presence or a YouTube career, it's something that is very recent. And she even created her own channel where she gives like piano lessons, because my mom is a piano teacher. So I don't know, it's been great, you know. She was super supportive, and I kind of felt bad for taking so long to tell her because I was so scared, because I think she was gonna disown me and be like, oh my god, you have a channel about smoking cigarettes, like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm very dramatic. I don't know. I always think about the worst case scenario. So yeah, all of that to say that my dad was a bit taken back at first. He didn't really understand why, but then he started seeing that I didn't give up on this. I feel like maybe he was expecting me to give up on that because I've always given up on everything, which is kind of sad, you know. But I never really felt passionate enough on something to not give up on it, and I can't do like something every day if I'm not passionate about it. I could not go to college if I was not passionate about what I was learning, you know. And I feel like that's a bad characteristic that I have. Sometimes you just gotta do stuff because you gotta do stuff, you know. But for me, if I don't have the passion for what I'm doing, it's very hard for me to have motivation and not become very sad or depressed with the thing that I'm doing if I'm not very passionate about it. So yeah, but as soon as he understood that I was very serious about YouTube and like continuing on growing my community further, he was very supportive, and my mom was as well, my aunts were as well. Like I have a lot of aunts. Some of them have some opinions that I'm exposing myself too much, which, I mean, it's true, I'm exposing myself to the whole internet, but I'm aware of it, you know, and I'm 22 years old, so I think I don't know, there's some decisions that I feel like I can make for myself now and deal with the consequences of them. Overall, I'm just so grateful that I even started my YouTube channel, because I have no clue what I would be doing if I didn't have my YouTube channel, because I would probably be in college again studying something in the psychology field, probably sociology field, something like that. When I created my YouTube channel, I kind of was like, I'm gonna do this for a year. If it doesn't work out, I'm going back to college. But after a year of doing it, I had like 20K subscribers, which is not a lot. Like these days, that's not a lot at all. But to me, 20,000 people watching me, I was like, if I had 20,000 people in front of me, that would be just a crazy number of people. So I was like, if I could grow this to 20,000 people, I can grow it a little bit more, you know? So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing, you know? And I really love it. I'm really passionate about it, and I'm not gonna stop anytime soon. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed hearing that story, and I'll see you all very soon, okay? Bye!